Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Let me sit down. Let's see. 2 weeks ago, well, about 2.5 weeks ago, I caught COVID from my wife. I didn't even think it was real, and so I still got a little bit of it, but it's almost gone now. They didn't give me any medication, nothing. They just said go home. But she went to the hospital, and her throat closed up, or started closing up, and they put a breathing tube down her throat for a week. It scared the heck out of me. I thought she was dead, or she was gonna die. But her brain was okay. She could text me once in a while. They had to put her on fentanyl. You hear about this drug that's coming across the border, just so so she could handle that tube in her throat, I guess. And they gave her all kinds of antibiotics, and in the end, she's home now. She's been home for, I don't know, I think a week on Wednesday. This Wednesday, I think this is a week ago today. I just looked at my watch, and anyway, it was scary in the point that you're never ready for this stuff. So anyway, I guess that's all I got to say about that. So the symptoms I had, I guess I'll say a little bit more. First I had a bunch of fevers. They go on and off, on and off. Then just felt really weak, tired. Didn't want to eat anything for like 3 days. Then I started eating a little bit, and now I can eat again. But since I'm so fat, I'm gonna try not to eat so much now that I get in this habit of not eating. Good excuse. See if I can keep it up. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to these window trim. So if you watched the last video, I'm just gonna put these on and then just try to snap the window trim in. Like I said, I guess the last video was like 3 weeks ago. I can't remember anymore. But anyway, these are the ones I'm using. I think I got them off Amazon. I do remember that I bought some and they were wrong. They just wouldn't snap in right. So if you got a problem, try a different brand. I know it's like the money, it just keeps going in. You just keep spending money. But what can you do? I couldn't use these old ones. I went over all that in the last video. So anyway, I'm gonna put these on. I don't know if I can really show it, because if you want to see how to put them on, I went over that in the last video. I'm just gonna go ahead, put them on all the pins, and then try to snap the window trim on. Maybe I'll turn the camera back on there. Easier way, maybe I'll figure it out as I go. Not sure what I did. Actually, I don't need these blocks. Just tilt it. And I guess just make sure they don't pull out. I think make sure they're all the way down. Yeah, make sure they're all the way down. I'm just gonna do a close-up on one of these. I got some weather stripping on that last one. Focus this thing. So, forget where, again, the problem with zooming, you don't know where you are. Let's see, I think I'm on the corner. So it's below the top of the mill. Just make sure they're all the way down, that's all I can say. When you put your window in, you might get some weather stripping on your pins. This one is just kind of buried. So I just need to, so I guess all I'm saying is make sure you clean them off. Okay, I'm gonna try to put the window trim on. The secret to these little clips, don't put them straight on, put them on like, it's kind of weird, you put them on tilted. You can see that like that, and then get it started, then it'll flip back. If you try to push straight down, they didn't go in. So, let's see. Oh, I forgot what is what. I'm trying to line this up. I guess I can snap that piece in later. So I'm just pushing it as far as I can into that corner. Just looking at this trim. might be a secret to this, but I don't know what it is. That one went right in. I don't know. Seems like the trim, the piece isn't pushing away so that the trim can drop in. That's what it feels like anyway. Not sure how that. Well, it went in. Smells like gas in here. Look under the car. I don't see any gas. things slide this way. Too short. What the hell? Stuff to come this way, a quarter inch. I sure don't know how to do that. It moved. It's short. I don't know what to do about that. I have to think about that. Piece in. I mean, these trim pieces are just barely long enough as they slip in. I mean, I would think I'd go in about a quarter. I got it in like an eighth. I'm gonna have to put some weather stripping in here just to hold this trim in place. I mean, it's tight, but right here it's kind of weird. But that takes, you know, a lot of these cars rot out right in here. But it takes me back to when I had my '69 Roadrunner. I noticed water was dripping in. This is the way they used to design these cars, and I remember caulking around the weather stripping. I mean, I'm never going to take this off again. Anyway, that's going to be my solution if I show it or not. Okay, I don't know where I left off. I think I said that I had COVID. But anyway, I got the trim on. And again, I can't remember what I said, but what I learned is start in the middle. Start in the middle here. Start in the middle here. And then you can still slide this into the slot. And then if you're, like my shape wasn't perfect for some reason. Maybe because I put a new quarter panel. So you can bend these metal window tabs. So they're up against the body, if you can see that. They go in like that, but you can bend these so you got a little bit bigger space. That's what I needed to do. And it catches on that little lip right there. Yeah, this is another week or two later. So I decided to paint the gloss here and here and there. I think I'm going to paint this too. So I painted it a couple hours ago. And then I painted with an enamel primer paint, they call it. I'm going to paint this too. I got my mask on. Days later, so I painted under the hood. Again, I can't remember where I leave off. I painted under the hood. Painted it here. Painted some of that. I didn't paint right here. I still could go back. I'll probably paint this. And then I think there's one more thing I want to paint. If you go to my other videos, I painted the dashboard. What do you call it? Gloss black, and there's too much reflection. So I'm going to try to. Well, I'm not going to try. I'm going to do it. I'm going to paint that somehow. It'd be easier because I got T-top. I can just take the T-tops off and reach in there. So I'm just going to cut a piece of paper. I've been thinking of how to do this. I'll cut a piece of paper that fits on the outside. Then I'll just move it onto the inside. Which is like, it goes to like right. Just have to cut the paper right about to there. And then this trim on the inside. Again, I'll be aiming that way. So, and then I'll lay blankets, you know, right over the stern wheel and right over through here. Just things that bug me that I decided I want to do. No, I don't know. Just to tell you what's been going on, I think I said I caught COVID about a month ago. I think it was about a month ago now. Maybe a little bit more than a month. And my wife caught COVID. And she went to the hospital and they put her on a respirator. And I thought she was gonna die. And then when we're in COVID, they don't let you see them. I don't know if this camera's pointing at my face or not. Yeah, so I thought she was gonna die. You can't go visit them. She's got a tube down her throat. I can't talk to her. I did leave her phone, so we texted, but they put her on fentanyl, which you hear that drug they're always talking about on the news. And that I guess that calmed her down, because you got a tube down your throat. I mean, I think you would think you'd want to gag. And when I text her once in a while, because I don't know if I said it, I left her the phone, but she was on fentanyl and she was out of it. So man, it scared the hell out of me. you know, you don't know what you're going to feel until this stuff happens. I felt, I mean, everything we have is paid for, so I wasn't worried about money. But it was lonely, man. You get used to having somebody around. And I live rural up by myself. I mean, I was transplant. All my real friends I left back in California. So anyway, she's better. She's back to normal. She's working, which she wants to do. And I just turned 68 today. Is my birthday, by the way. I'm freaking old. And I don't know. Just kind of a vlog. So yeah, I'm gonna do the windshield. I never did finish the windshield trim or again, I can't remember, but I'm gonna put some weather stripping, 3M weather stripping on all the cracks around the windshield because I don't like the way it fit. The windshield trim. Then I'll put on the front trim, but I want to finish this painting. Then I'll be done with it, except maybe like I was saying, maybe I'll paint those inner fender wells. It's not that hard. You know what, I think what's harder is to try to tape off everything. If you just tape off sections, it's a lot easier. And that's it. I don't know what else to say. So again, this is going to be another one of my videos. It's just going to be all thrown together. And if you want to find information on this car, how to put it together, you got to go through all my videos because they're not in any real order. Except starting at the beginning, but then you keep skipping around like I'm still doing it now. But I'm getting close. What do I think I have left? Paint the dash. I'm just going to use a flat. Put on the I can't think of the term, the air cleaner, put on the shaker, hook up the air, shaker air, whatever you call it, that goes in through here. Windshield wiper pump, I've never seen it work. I'm just thinking what I got left to do right in here. I think that's it. That's all I can think of right now. And the hoses. Then I still got to put the door panels on. That's my major thing. I just haven't felt like doing it. I've never done it before. And then the paint shop said the driver power window was not working right. So either the motor burned out or there's a ground issue. So that's the real major thing to me is the door panel and that motor. Hopefully it works. Then just a bunch of other little stuff that I don't even know what it is. Just pick up parts off the table and get it on the car. Oh. So I just want to tell you about me having COVID. I didn't even think COVID was real. I mean, I heard that people were getting COVID, but I never knew anybody. So I took her to the hospital. Again, I can't remember what I said, but she was having trouble breathing. It started out, she said she was tired, and then her voice started changing. Then in the Saturday morning, I can't remember when, like I said, about a month ago, she goes, take me to the hospital. And she was sounding like a frog or a Mickey Mouse. And then the next day I felt sick. It's kind of like the flu. But it spooks you because you keep hearing all this stuff about COVID. You don't know if it's real, but I guess it is. So the symptoms I had was, I don't know, like if you have the flu or something, I felt weak, kind of lightheaded, just sick, whatever that means, whatever sick means. And then I would start getting fevers. Sometimes I would be covered in sweat, but I was never bedridden. Like I could still move around, but I was just like, you're just out of energy. And so I just like First couple of days, I just sat around and watched TV. And then you can't go to the store, or you're not supposed to, for at least 2 weeks. I had my sister, she lives close, she brought over some orange juice and milk. Because we keep a ton of canned food stacked up just in case of something happening. But then anyway, the doctor didn't really they didn't give me anything. They didn't give me any kind of medicine. They tried to take blood because they wanted to give me a certain medicine, but they tried 5 times and they couldn't find my veins. So then they just said, so they left me sitting in a room after they tried to get blood 5 times by 2 different people. They just left me in there, and finally I just went out in the hallway. I said, hey, I want to get out of here. I'm getting stressed out just sitting here. So anyway, it was kind of weird. I go to get in my car. The car's in a big parking lot. I get into my truck or whatever I was driving. I guess I was driving the Escape. I get a call on the phone, and they said, do you want this drug that they couldn't give you in the doctor's office? I go, yeah, I guess I do. I mean, I don't know what it is. I said, but the doctor didn't draw blood, and it says you shouldn't give it to people unless, you check their kidneys or something, or liver. And she says, oh, don't worry about it. So I said, yeah, they brought it over, they dropped it off my door that night. It cost about $20. But then I read all the side effects, and I was scared to take it. So I haven't taken any drugs. I got COVID shots in, 2020, when it all started. Only because people were freaking out, and I wanted to say, look, yeah, I've been vaccinated. So then the fevers went away, and I started getting my strength back. But then I noticed I'd cough, and this stuff would come up right about here in my lungs. And that took about another week to go away. But I was still run down and tired. And I don't know, right now, like I say, about a month later, right now I feel back to normal. So it took a month. So the first week, you just feel like, you just don't feel good. Plus she's in the hospital, I'm sick, I can't see anybody, nobody can come see me. I can't go to the store. She's in the hospital, I can't talk to her. It's just like a helpless feeling. But it slowly resolved itself, she's back. She was in the hospital 11 days, and she got paid the whole time because she's working for the government. Which is pretty good for her, and me, I guess. So, let's see. Oh, then another thing I got was a taste. When I was getting this stuff in my lungs, I had like a taste in my mouth, like a copper taste. And, that's the only thing I can think of to explain it. And, I still get it a little bit once in a while. I think I might still have a little bit of something right about here, like a lump or something. But most of that taste is gone, no more fevers. Oh, then I got the runs. Again, I don't care what anybody thinks. I got the runs. Stomach wasn't working right. I took a dump, it was green. That lasted 3 weeks. So I guess it got into my stomach too. I mean, I don't know. So that's the story on the COVID. I guess while I'm here, I cleaned up the valve. A long time ago, before I started the engine, I had put tape on there to mark all the cylinders. I mean, way, a year or two ago. There was tape residue, I just took that off. I decided I should finish here. Make sure you get this thing tight. And then I don't know if you saw another video, I had relocated the air cleaner so it turned more this way. It used to be right here. If you go back a couple of videos. Then this goes down. Remember I put the ram air manifolds on here. So that's a different heat shield. I probably should have put this on first. And I guess I'm okay. This thing's right in my way. I think this is going to be too long now. No, it's okay. So I gotta put a hose clamp, see if it fits around this. Anyway, I'm gonna put this clamp down there. Yeah, just a little bit of tidbit of information. On the stock valve covers, there's a slot for this thing right here, this spark plug holder. I don't know what you call it. But I've been wondering why it's there. These first two wires go over this pipe, if that makes sense. If you can see that. And I got this on, now I'm putting this on. Make sure this is away from that, and this is back far enough from that gasket, and then this goes right down there. I could have gone through here, I guess, right here. Maybe I still will. Oh, came off. That's wrong. I run it right down through there. Yeah, I moved that a little bit again. I didn't want it on the manifold or on the head, so I went right between the I guess you call it the steering. I can't think of what it's called right now. The pivot arm that comes out to the wheel. And the battery cable, the ground. Anyway, that's where I have it. So it won't get hot. Close the hood, see what happens. Okay, first time it's been closed with the gasket on. Went down no problem. And the gasket's tight up against the hood. So, success. Finally. One thing I didn't hook up is the windshield wipers and the water sprayer, and I just don't feel like doing that right now. Besides that, I think the engine compartment is done. just looking at this side of the hood. Something goofy is going on right here. I think that's paint sticking. I think this hinge is worn out. Well, right now it's up against this gasket underneath here. So, finally got the damn air cleaner in the right spot. Let's see, I was going to work on the dash. I guess I could do that next. Yeah, the reason I think this hinge is bad is because that side's down tight. It's like it's not pulling this all the way down. Okay, I'm going to take these T-tops off. They've been on there since I brought the car home from the paint shop. I was trying to settle the gasket. Got some blankets back here. Okay, I taped off the dash. I'm just gonna do the best I can. I don't know what else to do. It can't stay shiny. That's where I screwed up. Okay, I sprayed it. It's drying. Let's see if we get this light to work. You can see where it's flatter, where it's dry. Anyway, that's the best I can do. Okay, I'm gonna put the front window trim on again. I'm using the same clips I used on the back. Haven't done this before, so except for the back. So I found if you kind of lean them this way and then push them down in, and you can see if they're in all the way. I think I got some weather stripping on there. Sometimes they go right on, sometimes they don't. And just to be sure. again, I'm leaning him like this until you get this bottom clip in. That works best for me. Trying to get this in the camera view. Yeah, I've been having trouble with these popping out. You see this little tang right in the middle? If you can bend it, again, I'm trying to get in the picture here. If you can bend that towards you, bend that this way. So as it slides in, it pushes against that and forces this against the window. Okay, I got the front windshield trim on, and I had to make those corners I couldn't get perfect, so I made a little clamp out of plywood to push down the corners. I'm going to silicone around it because I don't want any leaks. Just going to use silicone. Okay, I use silicone caulk around the windows, front and back, around the trim, both sides. Yes, the next day I decided to put some silicone around the P-top too. I just put it in, but I mean there was a gap right here, I'll show you. Right here, and all those corners, 3/8 to a 1/2 inch. So, I mean, you could analyze this and say, why is it that way? And it shouldn't be like that, but whatever. I don't want it to leak. So what I've been doing is using silicone over there. And then I got mineral spirits. No, then I push it into the cracks with my finger and try to shape it the best I can. Then I get a wet rag with some mineral spirits, which doesn't hurt the paint so far, or the stripes. And then I just get it off. No, let me start again. I put it on, fill the gaps, shape it with my finger, then I try to wipe off the extra with just a regular dry towel, get off as much as I can. Then at the end I use the mineral spirits. And I did the windows, they're done. Just have to clean them up later. But then I decided that let's do the T-tops. And then it'll be done. What I did is right or wrong, but I know I didn't want it to leak. So there was a big gap in here. For whatever reason, I couldn't get that down any further. And I just did the T-top. I'm gonna have to do another coat, but you can see how thick that hole was there. Just the way the weather stripping was. Same over here. And then I just decided to seal the whole thing. Again, what I did is I just put it on with a caulking gun. Then I wiped off as much as I could with a dry paper towel. Then I used some mineral spirits. So I might have to go over it one more time. But that's it. There's the back window. In this corner right here, you can see that the reveal is the same, but there was a 1/4 inch gap in there. I mean, that's why these cars rot out. They didn't design them good. So I got this. Same here, there was a gap. You can see how big my finger is. There's that big of a hole. So on this side, I'm probably going to do one more coat because the stuff keeps sinking until it fills up the hole. Then I wiped it off with mineral spirits. Now I'll show you one more thing that I figured out. Yeah, so I know I went over this, but when the window trim comes down, it clips onto this little clip right here. With these, like I showing you, you kind of put them in like this, and then, let's see, like this, and then stand it up and push them all the way down. But there was this other brand, I'm not sure where it came from, but I put this in a couple of the corners. This has an adjustable height. So I needed it to be, let's see, up a little bit higher. So, and these are plastic, but the same thing, they clip on this, this little lip here, right where my fingernail is. So anyway, I guess that's what these are all about. So my recommendation, if I had to do this all over again, I'm thinking, what is my recommendation? I guess I don't have any. It's just, you could get this, you probably should get maybe some of these if you can find them. And then some of these regular ones. But like I say, some of them kept popping loose. Popping loose means you push the window trim down and then it would pop, the window trim would pull it up. With this one, it can't pull it up, but somehow you got to figure out what is the right height. Because once you put them on, you can't raise or lower them. If that makes sense. So that's where I'm at. I think I'll finally finish this video. It's going to be my typical bunch of junk all pushed together. That's it. And here's the T-tops off. I think I showed this before, but this is what they look like. They do sell this piece here if you wanted to get it. And these holes here, it's a really shitty design. But those are what slip into these. So when you get new weather stripping, I had to bend mine up a little bit to get it in. But now that the weather stripping is starting to settle a little bit, I bent this one down a little bit. And that's where I'm at. I'm just working my way through. And you can see the dash now. It's flat black. I'm gonna have to do some touch up on the front of that, if you can see this. And I put a battery charger on here. I was thinking the battery was dead. I didn't even try it. But just before I put it on there, I checked it with my voltmeter. And there's 12 volts in the battery. This car does not leak one drop of electricity. Somehow well, Darren helped me, but it's just, I mean, I can leave it. When he was here, he was saying, I always leave my battery unhooked unless I'm driving it. This has been 8 months, and the battery's still got 12 volts. It doesn't have any leaks anywhere. So that's it. Oh, and I think I might have talked way back in the beginning that I bought a truck just before I got sick. In fact, I bought it, you know, I don't care about prices. I bought an F350. I'm just kind of looking around while I'm talking. I bought an F350 because I want to do some traveling in the future. An F350 long bed, 4-door, I guess, I don't know what they call them, king cabs, because I wanted extra space in the back for just for the hell of it. I mean, I wouldn't get that kind of truck just for driving around. A 4x4 with 111,000 miles. And before I bought it, I looked around to see what a low mileage 4x4 dually, whatever I just said would cost, and they were going for like 26 to 30. I mean, a new one would cost about, who knows, 70, 80. So anyway, I took it to a shop. I just said, go over the whole truck and tell me whatever you find, fix it. And they kept saying, whatever. I said, yeah, whatever you find, fix it. So there's one thing that they changed the ball joints, and their seat belts were shot, and oil change and all that stuff. But one of the things on these newer diesels, I think it's called a DPF or something like that. Something particle filter, diesel particle filter, I think. And after 100 to 150,000 miles, you got to change these, because it's like the exhaust flows through it and it can get plugged up. And if you don't fix it, you're going to burn out your engine. Anyway, I got that changed. And then one other thing I didn't like was, and I'll probably do another video, this tank here, this is the overflow tank. It's all yellow. I just didn't like it. So I looked, the Ford dealer wanted like, I don't know. Can't remember now. The Ford dealer wanted to put it on like $800, some stupid, ridiculous price. And then I looked to see how much they cost, and it was like $400. I got this for $250. Still got the Ranger. Slowly finishing this thing up. Oh yeah, clean the valve covers. I don't know if I said that, because I had put, yeah, maybe I did, but when I first rebuilt it, I was learning about the engine, and I put a piece of masking tape that marked each cylinder and the rotation. So there was residue on there. Got that off. As I showed before, got all this hooked up. I got the battery charger on there, but I don't need it. It's not plugged in. Another thing, I got this back, shoot, I don't know how many months ago. 2 months, 3 months. I haven't put a cover on it yet, and the desk keeps falling. So my plan is I need to get this together before winter, because up here it does condensate and it drips. So got the T-top on. That's the main thing. It's sealed now. I mean, everywhere. We went over this in an earlier video. I got the windows cocked. The T-top's gonna be cocked. If it leaks anywhere, it's gonna be right here. I guess the water's supposed to go. Who knows what the design? It's just a shitty design. Anyway, I'm just babbling. Oh, then I took the car in. I got it. Since I was talking about, the wife almost died. At least I think she almost did. We put all the cars in both names, because we're not married. We're just like, I know it's kind of weird. 68 years old, but I've been married before, and I think as long as you honor your partner, it's almost the same. It's the same as being married, but not legally. And legally means that if the cars aren't in, if the car was in my name and we were married and I died, she would get it if her name wasn't on there. If not, but when you're not married, you better put your cars in both names. I mean, if you trust your partner. So if she dies, then all the vehicles are mine. And if I die, all the vehicles are hers. Then we got the house in a trust. Trust meaning the whole, I don't know why I'm telling you this stuff. I guess because we both got sick. But if you die tomorrow and you don't have a will or a trust, you're gonna have, somebody is gonna have to go through probate court, and you don't want to do that. So the house is in a trust. If she dies, I get it. If I die, she gets it. Same with the bank accounts. You can put a beneficiary. You don't have to go. If you do this stuff right, you won't have to go to court. Or your siblings won't have to go to court. If you got kids and you just have never done anything, I'd say take care of it. It's like, we all think we're never going to die, but I had a good scare. That's where I am. I guess that's the end of this video. I think tomorrow I will come back and hit this one more time. That's a little low. I just want it to kind of slope perfectly. There was a good hole in that corner too, like I was saying. This car is leak proof now. And I guess that's it. So looking at the table, I'm just doing this for myself now. I had put a bunch of stuff on the table that I had to do to the car. I took this off. This is a brace, so I'm going to paint that. I'm going to paint this brace. I still got to put some water in here, and I'm thinking, well, I guess I got some fluid in there. I'll just push the button and we'll see if it comes out the hose. Wherever that hose is. If it comes out the hose, everything's good. Hook it up, and if it doesn't come out through those sprayers, then they're plugged. So that'll take care of under the hood, as far as I know. I'm gonna go over to this table. I got these pipes I gotta put on. It's just a bunch of extra parts. I still got to put the rims on. We'll talk about that later. In here is the replacement, if I want to do it, a replacement for these, but one of them was cracked. The body guy fixed it. I mean, I don't know how he fixed it, but it looks flawless. Let's see. The tips, those, this is all, I think we talked about, this is just leftover stripes in case I had a different year. Windshield wipers. This is a Ranger mirror. That goes in the dump. I already got this on. Yeah, so the door panel. Oh, I think I want to paint the trunk too, because that's flat black in there. Remember, I sprayed everything with, because the car is rusted, I went over, I'm just going to talk some more. If you go way back to the beginning, this car was rusted. Mostly surface rust, but there's spots that I cut out, the floor and the quarter panel. But I went around the grinder and I cleaned everything off, and then I sprayed that rust restore on everything. And so that's what's in the trunk. And there's no rust coming through. So I'm not going to make it perfect, but I'm just going to clean it off. I'm going to blow it out. That's almost as good as wiping it off. If you blow it out real good, and then wipe your finger around and see if there's any dirt. Then I'll just spray some of that gloss black that I was talking about. Oh, I started talking about historic plates. I had some historic plates, but I got another set, so when we put it at both names, I got a new set of historic plates. I found them on Craigslist. And the reason I got these is because, I'll show you. It's got the 1976 sticker. And this car was sold in Washington, so here's, just haven't put these on yet. Let's see if I can get these back in with one hand. And I got some stickers that I bought. I mean, like they say, like a spare tire, and I think there's one goes on the air cleaner, and a bunch of little ones. And again, I'm going back to the door. Let's see. Door. Oh, I still got the sill plates. I'm going to put them on last. The new sill plates. Old door parts. Door panel. This is the carpet that goes in the trunk. The other part of the door panel. I'm almost done. A 3M sprayer, brand new. I never used it. Brand new. I got it like half price. Oh, here's the caulking I used. Yeah. Again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I used to work in construction, and we sealed everything, you know, with something like this. 100% silicone, 100% waterproof. I mean, if we put windows in and we sealed around the windows, then we sealed around the trim, then we sealed on the plywood edges, anything that water could get in, and that's what I did to this car. Oh, and the honeycomb rims, I went over this before. I got those. I'm gonna put these on last. And the tires aren't cheap. I'm gonna find some really nice looking tires. And leftover parts. That's it. I mean, I'm almost there. Almost there.